Hey everyone, today we're going to be reacting to how foreigners make Japanese uncomfortable.
Something that are normal in your country might be seen as awkward, confusing, or even annoying here in Japan. In America, you say, "Excuse me," but in Japan, we say,
ほう、向かってくるのか。逃げずにこのディオに近づいてくるのか。
Japan is a country full of rules. We have rules for the train, rules for the bus, rules for the office. We even have rules for
There's a
using
lot of rules.
chopsticks.
箸を割るときは必ず脇を締めましょう。脇が開いていると肘が当たって
Oh, so you
And
don't
yes,
hit anyone?
there are so
guess.
many rules when you're around other people. But if you don't know these rules, you might be wondering why some Japanese people are trying to avoid you. Trust me, it's not because they are secretly discriminating against you. Or are they? Japanese are too polite to share any of these rules with foreigners. It's actually easier to move away from somebody who's making you uncomfortable than telling them directly. And one thing you need to know is Japanese people don't like to be direct. Well, except for when they do. Check out
What
our
is that?
Tokyo University shirt and
idea.
other great merch.
that.
So, if you don't want to make Japanese uncomfortable,
That made
you
me
should
uncomfortable.
avoid these
Yeah.
things.
Scent of irritation.
In Japan, we have the word smell harassment or perfume harassment. I was really surprised when I saw a poster that explains this type of harassment. But when I was in America, I was so surprised how many different fragrances there were. When I went to the mall, I could smell the air freshener, scented candle smell, etc. Also, I was surprised how strong the deodorant smells in America. I heard that Americans tend to enjoy more complex smell than Japanese people.
Really?
Almost everyone I met wore some kind of perfume or deodorant. I don't think I ever met a person in America who had no smell. In Japan, the most
don't like
popular
smells
scent here is no scent. For a lot of Japanese, the biggest reason to wear deodorant is to remove the smell, not cover it up. Of course, we have scented deodorants too, but they usually have light smells like mint, lemon, and soap.
Wonder why they're so
the
strong
smells aren't so
in the
strong.
US, you
It's
know?
more
just
like
really
a
stinky.
refreshing or relaxing.
Good point.
Also, in our society,
don't
there are
sweat,
situations
really.
where you are supposed to be scentless. Work and school are two of the main places. This might explain why we are so sensitive to these smells. And some Japanese people are so sensitive to smell that they don't even want to be around others who are wearing heavy fragrances.
My mom doesn't
When I
like
used to work in a
fragrances.
hotel VIP
Really?
lounge,
Like perfume and
I
stuff?
had
Any
many
smell gives her a
requests from
headache.
Japanese guests that they want to switch their seat because the person at the next table was wearing very strong perfume. The scent was usually coming from foreign guests, and the Japanese guests felt uncomfortable with the smell of the perfume. Also, in some places in Japan, there's an unspoken rule not to wear too strong fragrance. In high-end sushi or Japanese washoku restaurants, where people enjoy delicate flavors, you should be scentless. If someone is wearing too strong fragrance or
flavor
cologne,
should be
it can ruin other customers'
Oh, when you're eating
experience
them,
too.
you should be silenced.
Yeah.
A hairy
Japanese people see beers as dirty, scary, and aggressive.
scary.
Why? The reason is history. Beers were acceptable at some point of Japanese history. It was a symbol
Glad I
of
shaved
power
mine.
during 1567
Yeah,
to
bring your razor when you
1615.
go.
In 1930, when militarism came to Japan, facial hair became a symbol of authority. After World War II, having no facial hair became common. As Japan's economy grew, more men were becoming office workers who wore suits. So a clean face became a symbol of a modern, sophisticated man. That's why beards aren't seen as a very good thing these days. There have been court cases that employees sued the company because employers asked them to shave. If they didn't, they would have their pay cut or
Oh, wow.
evaluation lowered. The latest case happened in 2019 when two male employees of Osaka Metro complained that they were unfairly evaluated because they did not shave as their supervisors told them to. Although they won the case, immediately after the news, the mayor of Osaka tweeted, What's with this ruling? I'm appealing. The old city transportation is a service business. It's unreasonable to say that they don't have to follow the rules when
Yeah,
they
I'd say
set the
that's
grooming standards and the
not
rules
too
themselves
crazy.
are
Like,
legal.
you
This
see
is not
something
a
like
private
that in
club.
America,
It is a
like,
public
some
service
jobs
organization.
require you
It
to
is
shave.
funded by customer fees and the taxes were used to make the subway tunnels. Of course, this kind of incident would never happen in America, right? I was really surprised to see how many men had facial hair. Some guys even make it part of their identity. But can foreigners have facial hair if they work in Japan? Of course, nobody has a problem with facial hair in public places, like on a train, on a taxi, or in a grocery store, etc. In some workplaces, facial hair is definitely okay. ECC is one of the biggest English school in Japan. This teacher, he is always on the poster. Look, he has a beard. Also, if your work is more artistic, like designer, video game maker, etc., then beards are okay.
That's kind of funny.
But I haven't seen
Just depending on the
foreigners
job.
who work in bigger Japanese companies with big facial hair. I wonder maybe they had to shave it so they could work there? I'm not sure. But I can say there are certain positions that require you to shave, like working as a sales rep, hotel staff, or a chef. Recently, however, I'd say more and more, especially younger generation, people are accepting, neatly trimmed facial hair. You can even buy a beard sticker, so you can enjoy having a beard look on the
Oh my
weekend or
gosh.
vacation. Then have
A
a clean
beard
face when you
sticker.
go back to the office.
Oh, just get some beard stickers.
Japanese people don't usually talk to strangers.
crazy.
But I know it's very different in America.
won't.
When I took a flight in America, many people were talking with each other. I was surprised because many of them didn't know each other, but were chatting like old friends. Some of them even helped each other put things in the overhead stretch. I was also shocked to find that when I walked in the store in the US, the shopkeeper started talking to me, hey, and then have a chit chat. Why are they talking to me? But after getting used to talking to a stranger everywhere, and when I came back to Japan, I missed it.
Aw.
I realized that having a small talk with a stranger or greeting to each other was such a pleasant moment to me. Before I got married with Mr. Eats, I was living in New Zealand, Christchurch, for a year and a half. I went to a grocery store by myself and then I bought a bunch of chocolate. So I brought all the chocolate and cookies to the cashier, and there was the very handsome looking cashier. He's not as handsome as Mr. Eats, so he would greet me, right? Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. And you? Good, good. Where are you from? I'm from Osaka, Japan. I was so nervous, right? Because I have never been, talked by a total stranger. When he finished putting all the chocolates in a huge bag, he said, "See you later." I literally translated into Japanese. I will meet you later. Okay. So he wants to see me later after his work. Should I go back to ask him, what time do you finish your work? I didn't have guts to go back, so I just went back to my dormitory.
That's
As I told you, for
Yeah,
Japanese,
lost in
being spoken by a
translation.
stranger or even cashier is such a surprising thing. It's not normal for us to talk openly with people we don't know. If a stranger talks with us, we're probably thinking, why is he or she talking to me? What do they want from me? And also some Japanese people are very self-conscious about their English skills. So if they are talked in English, they get really nervous and then they probably don't know what to say to you.
I guess that is a good thing. What?
Of course,
That is a-
there are
that is a good
people
thing
in
about the
Japan
US, like, I
who
didn't
enjoy
realize.
small talk
Yeah,
with
you
strangers.
small talk.
Osaka is
Yeah.
known as a
Didn't
place
care.
where people are more friendly. So if you come here, more people might start chatting with you compared to other places in Japan. Of course, younger Japanese people tend to be friendlier to foreigners too. I think it's totally okay to talk to Japanese people when you come here. But please do not worry if the conversation doesn't go anywhere. Many people are just surprised when it does happen. making direct eye contact is something we don't do in Japan. Maybe you've seen this video where Mr. East talked about a creepy DVD that is supposed to help you with eye contact. That's because in Japan, we are told that too much eye contact is bad. So when you talk with a Japanese person, they might not make direct eye contact with you, but that doesn't mean they are not listening to you. Instead, we show attentiveness by making sound. When we show that we are listening to you, we say,
Okay.
oh. Ooh, you might think there are too many rules in Japan, but actually following those rules are very, very important in Japan. If you want to succeed and make
never
a good
realized
life
why
here, it's
they'll make
important
those
to
noises when they're
understand
talking
those
to you.
different rules.
Yeah.
I
They're not
know
looking
people
at you,
who
but
had
they
a
want
hard
you to
time
know
dealing
they're
with
listening.
these
Yeah.
different kind of rules in Japan and eventually, hated living in Japan. I talk all about it in this video and how you
That's
can
cool.
overcome these things to have a successful life in Japan. Thanks for watching. Okini!
Okini.
I feel like I learned a lot. Did you know all those things?
No. It's just funny because in the US, you're taught to like make eye contact, My eyes are up here. Thanks everyone for watching. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and we'll catch you later.